What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all so much. Hope everybody's doing well for this new moon in Cancer. Oh yeah, I'm also still doing my school, beginner to reader, starts July 1st. There's a link in the description below. Please do sign up. Really looking forward to it. I've been thinking a lot about the class and how I'm going to go about doing it, and I'm stoked. So much information, a lot to talk about, lots of content. Probably, I don't know, 3 times 6. There's probably be like 25 hours, if I had to guess. Probably going to go over 3 hours a class. So check it out. You can take brand new people to astrology and take them really far. And if you already have your, if you already dipped your toes in, this is great for taking it to the next level as well. All right, so check that out. It's going to be great. Starts July 1st, this week, Friday. All right, let's take a look at this new moon in Cancer. It's definitely a big new moon. So this is going to be a big deal in where we're progressing, especially for the next month. But, it's this, it's coming right after the solstice energy, taking us into, this next half of the year in a lot of ways. It's not, of course, the halfway point, but if you think about the solstices, it is, going from the summer solstice to the winter solstice. There's a lot of moving parts here. It's at 7 degrees. It's with Black Moon Lilith at 8 degrees too. There's definitely some honestly, some bad bitch energy here with these net sevens. There's net sevens everywhere. Neptune's at a net 7. Venus is at a 7. Jupiter's at a 7. Sevens everywhere, which is very spiritual. So there is this spiritual comfort that you have to be a bad bitch or a bad dude or just a badass to find this comfort in life right now and to realize that you have to push forward. You have to go. You have to create comfort in your life right now. We're seeing a lot of Taurus energy still with North Node Uranus. You have to liberate yourself to build comfort in your life and to know you got it and to be stable and to be, solid as a rock, but in Uranian type of ways. Like this is about innovation. And I think that it's very important with Jupiter in exact square to this new moon that you're able to start the story of your real belief system in life that is actually empowering you to be a warrior and to expand the greatest things in life that actually are part of a foundation that's deeper within you. And it's definitely bringing up a lot of emotion. It's, it's very sensitive. The other big news about today, speaking of sensitivities, is Neptune is now retrograde, stationed retrograde. So, which can definitely take the rose-colored glasses off. And I think that that's actually beautiful right now because we can actually see what we really want to be compassionate and loving and on it spiritually for. If we're not getting duped by screens, if we're not getting duped by media, if we're not falling for these traps that are set for us, because there's a lot of traps. And that's what I think this square to Jupiter is that there's a lot of different personalities in this world. And Saturn is in Aquarius. And that's another lesson that we're learning too, is that everybody's unique, everybody's different. You're better off expanding your story right now and moving full speed for that. Remember, a square is 90 degrees. It's very Martian energy. So there's so much initiating force here to build a stable force within yourself, to use your emotion to actually go forward in life with better things, liberating things, creating abundance in your life, not being scared, fearful, and trapped into some kind of power that's outside of your control. This is where you have to really take your power and use it and really create something. And I think that that's so powerful, but it's almost like bad luck if people are willing to give up their own personal identification of a story for themselves for some ideal, with Neptune now retrograde, or even Jupiter, for some ideal of what your belief should be in life or what you should identify with that isn't of an actual solid foundation within your soul. And I think that spiritually people are taking a huge leap forward right now to have dreams come true. Venus is at 7 degrees of Gemini, which is a wild spot for Venus because that's where all these Venus retrogrades have happened in Gemini in 2020, in 2012, and it's an exact sextile over to that Jupiter. So it's like there's really positive things. These are the two benefic planets in great aspect to each other. And how are you taking the truth of how you want to relate to your identity and relate to other identities in this world? And how are you staying stimulated by being curious about beauty in this world and using your compassionate nature to find that beauty instead of having a projection of what some ideal of beauty is? It's like your story of what's amazing and bountiful and plentiful and creative is yours for the taking. But you got to step up and take that leap. So it's almost like really knowing what you want right now and liberating yourself to have just that. By playing in the old ways, you're not going to evolve. You have to get out of your comfort zone. That's the hard part of this, is it's like we want to be so comfortable. But we can't be comfortable right now because comfort is keeping us stagnant and it's keeping us in old value systems within ourselves, when now we're ready to change things up, turn the tables. It's like there's so many different ways to acquire value, to find stability within yourself. You just have to identify with what that is for you. Again, I mentioned that square to Jupiter, it's very Martian. Well, what's Mars doing? Oh, it's just dispositing that Jupiter and home in Aries at 25 degrees. So that's another net 7. I mean, talk about like, honestly, God's coming through in a big way. And also think about Cancer. It's the Chariot card in Tarot, which is the 7th card in the major arcana. It's 8 if you count the 0 of the Fool, but it says 7 on it. So it's number 7, the Chariot. This is definitely a moving force to where Spirit's guiding you, and it takes emotional courage, but you can't sidestep this like some Cancerian crab. If you're sidestepping value and creation and liberation right now, you're going to feel weak with Mars in Aries, and Mars in Aries does not feel weak at all. It's strong and it's identified, and our desires need to be met. Your personal desires. And why is that even more intense? Because Pluto's at 27 degrees retrograde and Mars is getting ready for that square. So it's like the biggest soul desires of your truth, of this big expanded story that can bring you so much emotional like stability and comfort and really like a nurturing from the universe right now, has to come through taking a leap of faith, almost a risk to get the reward. Like Capricorn is the accolades, the reward. And Mars in Aries is the warrior, and it wants the accolades because it stepped up to the plate to ignite a story that it was meant to be on. And I think that this is very big for relationships in life. Do they identify properly? Are relationships going about life in a similar story? Are they spontaneous and fun and youthful? Or are they old and crusty and controlling? Because nothing about this right now wants to have anything to do with that South Node, which is disposited by this Pluto getting squared by Mars, having all these big intense things happen in the world right now just to keep you from your story, just to keep you from your liberation, just to keep you from the story that you're here to create. So it's just getting out of that system and into your system. Everything in the astrology points to, well, this Capricornian system's getting absolutely blown up by Pluto here. The United States is in its Pluto return. July 11th will be the exact retrograde hit of when the Declaration of Independence was signed. Like, systems are getting completely demolished. So let go of them. But the South Node with Pluto there just wants to hold on to this system. And I don't think everybody here wants that. But look out in the world. There's some martyrdom and some victimhood that, everything's unfair. Like, you gotta take matters into your own hands right now. And if you're able to do that, you're gonna make the best relationships, you're gonna get the best gifts, you're gonna have the most comfortable things, and you're going to find so much stability in your ability to manifest and create and really personify what you're doing. So it's a very big step forward. Also, with relationships, Mercury's at 18 degrees, getting ready to come to 19. It's also square Juno and getting ready for that square to Neptune. I think that we need to understand what beautiful relationships actually are and come to some sense of like intuitive but also logical understandings of what we need in our life and be able to have these talks, especially when it comes to like real, like intimate, partnership relationships. Like, those need to be kind of hashed out with compassion so that you can actually be on your story, so that you can actually do what you want to do right now. Because people who are not doing what they actually want to do are losing out. You're completely missing it. So don't miss out. Get that bad bitch, that bad dude energy and make it happen. It doesn't get much stronger than this. It's a lot of pluses. It's a dignified moon in Cancer for a new moon. It's a dignified Mercury, dignified Mars, dignified Saturn. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy. And it is interesting to note, too, that the moon's out of bounds, which is very Uranian in nature, too. So there's so much Uranian aspects as the North Node and Uranus are getting ready to meet with Mars at 18 degrees of Taurus. Mars is coming over here to meet at 18 with the North Node and Uranus. There's only one way out right now, and that's liberating yourself through knowing your worth, knowing your value, and not settling for less, making everything top shelf, and really owning exactly what that is, and staying fixated on just that, and slowing the rest of the things down in the world that are taking you from your individuality and your power and the connection to people that is of value. Because treating other people right now like they're less than, or treating just groups like they are less than, or like they're so wrong and one side's so righteous, with all this 7 energy, you better believe people in this world are going to be acting more righteous than ever. So you got to get out of beliefs about like who's better than another person and just start living in your environment and your life. And I know you all will do that. But if anybody's new to this channel and comes in for the first time, that's a big message that you need to move forward with right now. And I guess you don't need to do anything. You don't need to listen to me. But this is what we're coming into, is that if you can do that, there's gifts out there for you. And there's a personification of your life that's going to get amplified to a place that you've never even been to before, because you're leaving behind the comforts of the old and going to this beautiful comfort of a new. But it's a little scary, and there can be fears about that because it involves change and it involves having a young, youthful outlook on what that can be. So that's my new moon in Cancer horoscope. I'm exhausted from traveling all day and working, and yeah, so it happens sometimes. But wishing you all the best. I know you guys got this. This is definitely a something energy. There's so much coming that this is it's one of those big deal new moons that isn't an eclipse. And there's no more rose-colored glasses for this. You're going to be able to see what the truth is in all aspects. And it's just like, don't be delusional. You see it. Stop being in some belief in your life right now that's outdated. It's all about transformation and mutation right now so that you can have better. So we got to make our life better and take risks for it. And that's hard because it's Cancer season and we all want to be comfy, cozy, secure. And there's only one way to do that, and it's to follow where the universe is really trying to take you. You know, there's so much seven energy. It's such a divine time today. It's very special in that sense. Like, I love seven energy. I'm a quadruple seven in numerology. Like, there's something about all this seven energy that's taking people to levels of enlightenment within their own sense of self that is so powerful, that can resonate out so far in the midst of all this crazy media stuff and CERN and everything that people want to trip out about. Like, you just want to stop tripping and start living. All right, what's the cards? Ace of Cups in reverse. It's like, oh, I don't want to go. There's these beautiful things showing up in my life, but it would involve me letting go and changing something. Don't be scared of new starts. There's a pull right now in our life to start things that I think we're all a little bit timid or nervous to do. And you would look back in the future at that now moment and be like, why didn't I just do it then? Why did I put myself through all that pain? Why didn't I step up and do what I wanted? King of Cups. Oh my gosh, it's full on emotion here. We got the ace and then all the way to the king. Full spectrum here. At least that king's upright. So I think that there is that side of us that wants to take that initiative force, that wants to delegate where we put our emotions into the things that we really do want. It's just almost like we're like iffy about it for some reason, because it's almost like a false sense of comfort. But we know if we can step up and really be mature with our emotions right now and actually say yes to what we want to say yes to and no to what we want to say no to, that isn't of a bigger inner spiritual intuitive calling, you're missing out. And the final card is, oh my gosh, the Knight of Cups in reverse. There's just this weird lack of courage, but it doesn't need to be there. It just feels like we're one step away, but we're playing into our own sensitivities more than we need to, and we have to like have that emotional maturity right now. Because the King of Cups is like really saying be emotionally mature and take responsibility for how you feel, because there's reasons that you're not feeling the way you want to that's making you feel like you don't have power right now, but there's an immense desire to take control and power over your life, to get the accolade, to get the award within yourself, to know that you're worth so much and that you can create from that place. I want to pull one more because these are ridiculous. The Page of Swords. I think that there is a lot of conversations that need to be had. There's a lot of messages that need to be delivered because we haven't been saying yes to the right things, and we've been saying, no to the wrong things too. And it's going back and forth to where we actually have to be in that truth and express how we're feeling honestly. And if we can do that, then the message will get where it needs to go. And, there can actually be a sense of, resolve in a lot of ways that will help us move forward, and that will help us, really find the security that we are looking for, but, more within ourselves and not so much as a projection of anything outside. All right. I love you guys very much. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.